would just like now to hand over the role of moderation to Ana Maria Cheto from the Museum of Light and the National Autonomous University of Mexico, and she will be moderating a number of short scientific talks on humanity and partnerships and a science policy panel. Please welcome Ana Maria Cheto to the stage.
So, good afternoon. I would like to say to start with that you may remember Flavia Schlegel, ADG for Natural Sciences, said this morning that there was a huge intersectorial effort in UNESCO across the House. This is true, but I think we have to acknowledge particularly the natural science sector and particularly the international basic science program, because they have been supporting all the way in the process that has led us here, and they really deserve a special applause. Thank you very much, the natural science sector and the international basic science program. Now, we have seen light used as a medium, as a tool to illuminate us, to enlighten us, to manipulate atoms. We have seen something about light for culture, light in the arts. Now it's the turn for light, the human side of light and its applications. And we have for this session two excellent speakers. The first one is Professor Tuan Dinh, the director of the Fitzpatrick Institute for Photonics at Duke University. Tuan has a background and research interest in biomedical photonics for protection of the environment and improvement of human health. Tuan, I have the honor and the pleasure to invite you to take the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me, and it is an honor to be here and to share with you some of my thoughts on the talk on how light empower humanity. So this slide is kind of outline of my talk, Light, this entity that we come here to celebrate, this entity seems to be around us everywhere, every day. Even at night when there's no light, light comes to us from the stars, from the moon. But at all, in fact, light really has the inner power and overarching influence on everything we do. In fact, on how we see the world, how we understand the world, and how we empower the world. So I would like for you to take, a journey with me together to see how light, to help us to see the world. Well, it really is something that helps us unlocking the mystery of the single cells or microscope. And it starts from in the 15th century, when, the lens makers, Hans and Zacharias, they put two lenses together. And that what they see is something much bigger than the eyes can see. And, it's a big discovery, because a phosphorus layer, think about that. With the new improvement, this microscope is a magic power give us to Louis Pasteur to discover the cellular germ. And then, all the discover antibiotics, which really, protect our own species. Now, in modern time, of course, we not only want to see, microbe cells, but we're going to go inside the cell to see what's going on. So we have here optical so-called nanosensor, fiber that we pull at about 50 nanometers at the tip, and 50 nanometers is about 1,000 times smaller of the hair string. And then with that, we deliver very delicately into the single cells. We shine the laser, and we have kind of flashlight inside the cell. And why do we need it? Because in the cells, you can see how the proteins work together, how the molecular process, how we can see, for example, that, when we, the cells react with the cancer drug or protect from microbe. And then from the understand the cells, we can go look forward into the sky. And again, Galileo was the first one who put the telescope skyward, and then discover a new world. It's the first time a human being can see, hey, we are here in a small planet, and we can see the outside world. He can see the mountains, the diffuse light in the Milky Way, and then again, in our time, of course, we have the space telescope, and the space telescope allows us to look into the outer edge of the universe. In fact, very recently, it can see the farthest star ever seen by the human being. So it's Icarus. It takes the star 5 billion years to get the light back to us. So what we see here is a picture of the past 5 billion years from this star. And now, not only that, but, with the microwave, we can see, for example, the scientists can detect the microwave, and they look into the sky and say, well, there's that background of the microwave. What happened? And they figure out, yes, it is from the Big Bang. The same Big Bang that Dr. Tuan gave an outstanding lecture, introduction to us. And the Big Bang, create that remnant of radiation, and that we can see here. Well, light, detection can give us the tool to listen to the murmurs of the end of, the down of time. So what we see here is very important. It shows the light tool allow us to see that, wow, we are really in the small planet. Our time it's very fleeting. So it makes us cherish our time we have on Earth, protect this unique planet in that vast universe. Now let's see how life can help us empower the world. Well, we see here now a paradigm shift from development-driven society to a sustainment-driven society. What I mean by that? In the 19th century, when we have Industrial Revolution, that is the first, development. Then on the 20th century, it's a go-go development. But now in the 21st century, we know we are this planet, we have limited resource. We are moving to a sustainable, driven consciousness development. So light here allows, think with the green technology that light allows to do it. The solar power, the new materials, perovskite, it allows to collect this, solar energy. We have also now, one thing I want to mention here when we talk about solar energy, the sun belt, which is a 35 degree in the equator, it's a very important thing for, the developing world who are within that sun belt. So now the developing world can take advantage of the sun belt and develop, green technology, develop ambitious projects for solar energy, for water desalination, for greener and more economical growth for their future. Well, what else can we do? Well, light provides us, the light bridge to the global village. Of course, we all know the internet would not be possible with a light process with a fiber. So that could create for us multiple possibilities. For example, it can create a system, a hyper-connected world where, we can have idea create in Los Angeles, in Silicon Valley, and then to design in Singapore, and produce in Vietnam, and then implemented in South Africa. So that is possible with the internet, like we couldn't have a dream just a few decades ago. Well, of course, it creates a new education system with online, free MOOCs, which is online MOOCs that really open education for all. What else can empower us? Well, it can preserve artwork. Very quickly, we can see, of course, like instead of years ago, we had to take, like the 12th century pastry from tapestry from Belgium. You had to take out the tissue, analyze what the dye is to preserve it. Here, what we can do with the light, we can have a laser that can shine into light and can detect directly what is in drawing. We can have a multispectral. We can have a camera that goes through, zip through multiple lines and produces identified artwork. And of course, when we think about preservation, we have to think about laser. Okay, laser can clean, can preserve. But what is important? What is unique by laser? Without laser, what people do is that they have to take, solvent, they remove one by one. Think about this in chapel. Sometimes you take the dyes off because it's very precious. No, here you can, the crust of oil, like the varnish on the painting, or due to the time, you can have, it has its own absorption. You have a laser, lumière, that absorbs exactly in that field, and then you vaporize the light, the varnish. Well, now talk about medicine. Light producers called the magic imaging tool. So this is kind of summarized really the history of the medicine in terms of imaging thanks to light. We have light here of different color going. We see only the visible light, but even energy, it can go from, the infrared, it can go from RF frequency line to the ultraviolet, to the X-ray, to the gamma, and each give you a tool, the MRI, the infrared, the CT, the X-ray, and the PET. All this come from the light, from the different energy, from the different colors that come to us to detect our disease. Well, what else can do at the modern time? I think there's a shift from before you go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis. Now you can, at the point of care, you can send a laser to the fiber, go to on the scope, and then you can, in 1 second, you can detect the disease, the cancer, without having biopsy. You can also, have a wearable sensor and can give you at home care your disease, monitoring the health without going even to the doctor. And also there's a shift from the center of gravity, not only from point of care to home care, but also to the global health, which also, with an inexpensive device, optical base, to look at infectious disease at home. But most important, I want to tell you that, also what I call the medicine of future. So what is a medicine of future? It is a medicine that has to be personalized. It has to be predictive and preemptive. So again, life is the start of everything. In order to have a personalized medicine, you need to hold the gene makeup of every person. And that's the beginning. In 1986, the first automated sequencing using 4-color lasers allowed to sequence the DNA. And now with advanced technology, you can have a DNA sequencing in a very short time, very less expensive, and then you can have that personalized medicine. Well, one thing also, we want to be predictive. Before we can detect when you have symptoms, but we want to go before people have a symptom. We can go to upstream at the gene level, and light provides those detection techniques to look at the disease before people know it. For example, you can look at microRNA, mRNA in the blood before people know they are sick. So this is the future medicine, which is a partnership, a treatment before sickness. We are looking at the future of the age of the end of illness. So very quickly, I think we go together, on the trip of looking at the brief process of life, and I think that through our history, light-based technology have empowered humanity to pierce into the inner world of the atom, to unlock the mystery of single cells, to unveil the outer edge of the universe, and ultimately shape human destiny. And thank you for your attention.